that Crenshaw could hold it out of there.
Doug Ford held it out of there one year to win, Pat.
Back in 1956.
No, I remember 56 very well. It wasn't 56. I remember that very well. I was an amateur in 56, and I didn't hold out anything. That's when Burke won in 56. I was second as an amateur. And I think it was Ford was in 57.
57, yes.
Amazing how you remember those things. So Crenshaw now, who is a good bunker player. Here's another thing, being with the bunker being wet, even though he's a little uphill, this one here, he's got, to me, is to put it, he's got two chances here. One, if he puts it at the hole and holds it there, or behind the hole and backs it up. I think this one here has got to get past the hole, because with any spin, it's going to back up on him and come down that slope. This is a nice arm shot, and try to take the spin off it. Nope. Nope. It went just at a place it doesn't come back far enough.
It'll come back a little bit.
Not far enough. Came out a little bit lower than he wanted to because of the wet sand.
Now it's for Scott Hoch.
Greg Norman made bogey at 18 to go to 4. Crenshaw's looking at bogey. And at one time at 17, there are 4 players at 5 under. But right now, this is Hoch's tournament to win. Everybody else has to watch,
including Nick Faldo, who has already finished and is 5 under, as is Hoch. Interested champion Sandy Lyle, who birdied this hole last year to win the tournament.
It is watching.
Probably with one of the best shots we've ever seen at 18 to win. And to get this many people around the 18th hole, and here it is just, the silence is deafening.
You can only hear the rain.
You know, you can go through a lot of things, Pat, and we've said it before, and once time Henry Longhurst said it, that when he's talking about a shot, that Scott Hoch very well knows what he has to do, and I guess right now there's nothing more to do than just watch.
Hold the cameras, please.
Firmer, he makes it. But again, as we said, Pat, it's a little conservative because he can't afford to just rip at it. He'll play another hole. He will go to 10. There are 2 for sure and 1 waiting. Now it's Scott Hoch and Nick Faldo at 5 under.
And maybe Ben Crenshaw.
Maybe Ben Crenshaw is right. This putt is a very difficult putt. There's a very subtle two-way break in this.
But as you said before, it's the world's best putter.
Not only does this test your stroke, it tests your nerves. He's made such good putts at 16 and 17. You keep making them. You know, how many can you make?
If you're Ben Crenshaw, you can make a lot.
looking down from where our tower here, Pat, looking down at the 10th green. They are just almost the whole gallery has moved now to the 10th hole, except the ones that have been here all day.
If he makes, there'll be 3 in the playoff. There are 2. So they'll go back to 10 as the daylight permits. Hoke and Faldo. Ben Crenshaw, Greg Norman, both bogey the 18th. Crenshaw shot 71 today. And the playoff will commence very shortly.
Demanding, difficult par 4, 485 yards downhill, slight dog leg to the left. One of the smaller greens on the golf course, so when you're playing your second shot, you have a very small target to play to, but it is a demanding hole.
Well, the format used to be 18 holes, but since 1979, well, that was the first year they had a sudden death playoff, and that was the year Fuzzy Zeller won on the 11th green, knocking out Tom Watson. Ed Snead had also participated in that sudden death playoff. So that was 10 years ago, the first time we had one of those coming down to, well, it could come down to 1 hole. That year it took 2 holes. But here we are headed to 10, and who better to comment about Nick Faldo, perhaps, than one of his neighbors in Surrey, England, our defending champion, Sandy Lyle. And Sandy, thank you for joining us. And what about Nick's game? Now, we know he was in the playoff last year, the 18-hole playoff at the U.S. Open before losing to Curtis Strange. He's been finished now for about 40 minutes. What do you expect we'll see from Nick?
I think you'll see some good drives, first of all. I think the main thing really between the two players is the second shot. Nick hits the ball very cleanly. He's hitting his long irons very well. So I kind of fancy he'll be very good with his second shot to the 10th hole.
Well, he changed putters today after coming out and finishing up his 3rd round. He was 2 over, went out and shot a brilliant 65 here in the 4th round. And I've got to think that perhaps he feels like he's got things going after the way he performed on the back 9 today, did Nick Faldo.
Yes, right. He's been putting very well, and 18th hole had a good chance of making birdie there. But I think he must be feeling very pleased with himself and looking forward to maybe having a good effort to win the tournament.
Well, Scott Hoke has been out on the tour for over 10 years, and Tom, he has never participated in a playoff. So what kind of effect do you think that'll have on him?
Oh, tremendous. There's a lot of pressure. He has the advantage, though, of just coming off the golf course, going immediately to the 10th hole, whereas Nick has been really waiting for almost 45 minutes now. So we're going to go out to the tee right now, the 10th tee, and bring in Bob Murphy.
Oh, there they come. Scott Hoke, of course. That's P.J. Boatwright of the United States Golf Association. And they're going to have a little flip of the coin here to decide who will play first.
Playing. Good luck to you.
Scott certainly seems to be congenial enough. Nick's had a while to think about this. Ken Ventura, your thoughts?
Well, they came up, they're both smiling, they're very happy to be in a playoff. I know Nick Faldo is, Bob, and of course you look back at 17, we're thinking of that putt that would have been the champion, would have been Scott Hoke.
Scott. Nick is going to play
The
first.
toss was won by Nick Faldo.
Right. Well, Nick's only been in one playoff in the U.S., and that, of course, when he lost to Curtis Strange in 1988. That, however, Kenny, was a was this 18-hole playoff, and this is sudden death.
Well,
Here we're seeing how the hole is played. Average score 4.3. It's a very tough hole, and of course the wind for the most part of the week was the tough part of the golf hole.
I was watching Faldo when he was practicing the other day, and Faldo really is very comfortable with a left to right shot.
Well, this hole calls for the right to left, down the hill, hopefully in the valley.
He left it out to the right, but I don't know if that will come down as much, Murph. It's going to be the right side of the fairway, and I don't think it's going to catch that slope.
It didn't. It's up on the hill, and that'll be a difficult stance. Very difficult stance. He's standing with his feet down, leaning towards the green. Very difficult shot. Scott can place himself at a great advantage here. Get it down the hill. Good driver.
He's going to love that. That is right on target, Murph.
Looked like he nailed it right straight away.
He took it right to left, and they call him a left to right player. That is perfect draw.
That's beautiful. It's right down in the bottom. He's got himself about 160 yards to the front edge of the green. So advantage Scott Hoch right here. And the playoff is on. Both boys getting a little nervous, but they're on their way down the hill. We'll be back.
In golf, there's no more pressure than a sudden death playoff for the green jacket. And that's what's happening now for Nick Faldo and Scott Hoch. And what a charge by Faldo. And we pick up now some of the highlights of his round. And this was at 16.
An unbelievable putt here, Jim, from about 18 feet down the hill, extremely fast. Fantastic.
That moved him at that point to 4 under. If you like that one, how about the one at 17?
Even a more difficult putt, I think, putting up through a transition area, up on top, on a slope, fast breaking. Had it maybe not hit the dead center of the hole, that putt really could have almost gone off the green.
Nick Faldo birding 4 of the final 6 holes to go to 5 under par and into the playoff. Now, after a brilliant shot from behind the green, Scott Hoch for par. He was 6 under at this point, Tom.
Yes, and I think he just tentatively pulled this putt just a little bit, left it outside, never took the break, and
well, that dropped him to that 5 under figure. That got him in the playoff with Faldo. Nick Faldo played the majors last year better than any other player in the world. 2nd at the U.S. Open, 3rd at Royal Lytham in the British Open, and 4th at the PGA. Let's go back out to the 10th hole. Bob Murphy.
Well, on tour, Ken Venturi, we usually say that the guy with the hot hand for the day and is the winner in most playoffs. And in this case, it's advantage Faldo. But I don't like where he is back on top of that hill. He's approximately 205 yards, is he not, Kenny, to the front edge? He's approximately 205 to the front edge. We've lost Ken's mic momentarily. It's a long shot. You're standing below the ball. Your left foot is downhill as well. You have to be very careful not to pull this ball way left of the green. To be a good shot. Oh, he's in the bunker in front. Just short. Not surprising. That's a very tough stance there from on top of the hill. Now it's back to advantage Scott Hoch. The two players, incidentally, have both made par in all 4 rounds on number 10. Scott, it appears, has some casual water problems. He's pacing around looking for a little help. He'll be asking for a drop. He seems casual enough, pacing a bit, trying to get his thoughts. Tom Weisskopf, Faldo had a very difficult shot from the top of the hill.
I would say, Bob, it was almost virtually impossible to hit the green, the odds of hitting the green. I'm not saying that he couldn't have, but it would have taken his supreme effort to put that ball on the green, especially with a long iron.
Right. There you can see the difference in the drives. Faldo had approximately 230 yards to the hole from a most difficult stance.
Hello.
And Scott Hoke has approximately 190 left. So he'll be hitting 5-iron, maybe 4. Still waiting for the approval on the drop.
Bob, the shot that Faldo had, he was 213 yards, what made it so difficult. The ball was above his feet, and plus his left foot was lower than his right. And I guess the natural tendency on that is to keep him overhooking it, and he blocked it out to the right a little bit. But he had a long, very, very difficult shot.
Yeah, he certainly did. We all know that if you miss the 10th green to the left, it bounces very hard left because the hill slopes that way. And once it takes off, it goes down towards the scoreboard, and you've got yourself a lot of problems. We can be bothered by a light problem here, the same as we were yesterday. That's partially what shut us down yesterday, was the light with the delay in play.
Bob, if there should be a playoff, we'll be back. If we don't get a chance to finish the playoff, is what I should say. We'll be back at 10 o'clock tomorrow to continue our coverage. Scott Hoke at 10 and Bob Murphy.
Nick, of course, is a bit concerned about what he's just done. Scott's taken a little bit more time probably than Nick would like. He's been waiting a long time anyway in the clubhouse, so he's had a lot of time to gather his thoughts. Scott now ready to play. You want to be most careful and get your club dry. Make sure your glove is dry. Well, I think we saw Ben Crenshaw. His club got away from him on 18. A little wet. Somehow it slipped.
Murphy's got a 4-iron.
Scott's taking a 4-iron, so he's coming all the way to the hole.
Right on track, Murph. It's going to be a little bit right the hole, but it's right on track.
And it's a good shot. It's on the green safely. Some 30 feet short of the hole. Makeable putt. So darkness is pushing the playoff, but Nick Faldo and Scott Hoke are involved in the most serious event here.
Hello, Steve. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I've got like a
Kenny?
10-second scripted lead to that. Yes, sir.
Ken Venturi, can you get close enough to?
What's that, Mark?
Can you get close enough to look at that lie?
Yeah, I'll be right over there. It looks fine from here, Murph. It's clean.
Okay.
Except the ball is going to be below his feet a little bit.
There was quite a bit of water in that.
Well, on the first hole of a sudden death playoff, Scott Hoke is on the green, but Nick Faldo is in a greenside bunker. And let me ask Sandy Lyle, what kind of bunker player is Nick Faldo?
Well, Nick's a very good bunker player, and you can see he's got a pretty good lie there. So, you know, it's difficult to say what can happen.